Welcome to the Quantum Manifestation Podcast. This podcast is designed to help you unlock your infinite potentiality and live your most successful and fulfilling life by eliminating the beliefs that are slowing you down or holding you back. I share quantum energy sessions, tips, tools, insights, and bring on industry-leading guest speakers to support you in embodying your next level through quantum manifestation, helping you to live your most aligned, authentic truth so that it becomes a natural unfolding rather than proving, pleasing, pushing, and forcing. Join me to create and live in the reality of magic, miracles, and exponential growth. Hi, Jocelyn Sandstrom here, and welcome to this week's episode. In this episode, we're going to be working on holding the void. I truly believe that the only difference between those that reach their goals and those that don't are the ones that reach their goals just never gave up. They use that inner knowing from their infinite soul to help it to drive them every single day beyond what it looked like, beyond the results, beyond other people's opinions, beyond people's judgments, beyond their fear of abandonment and rejection or fear of failure. Their inner knowing just drove them every single day to pivot, to harvest the learnings, to transmute, to take the leaps, to create this next level. And the only reason they were able to do it is because they never gave up. If you listen to most of the actors' speeches out there when they're winning their awards, the one thing that I notice a lot of them saying over and over and over again is don't listen to what anybody says. If they tell you you can't do it, you can do it. Just never give up. Just go all in. You can show them, right? It's that knowing that they had that drove them no matter what anybody told them. And that drive is what got them to that place. That drive is what got them to not give up when people judged them, when it wasn't working out. Maybe it didn't work for a year. Maybe it didn't work for 2 years. Maybe it didn't work for 10 years. And so they gave up and they said, maybe I should be doing something else. But the ones that just kept going and going, you look at all the actors, some of them that didn't even get popular until they were like 50 or 60 years old. If they had given up at the beginning, they never would have gotten there. So how much do you trust in this inner knowing of your soul and your desires and your dreams and your goals that are being channeled through you from your soul, from universe, God, divine, for what you were born to bring into this world, the magic that you were born to bring, to create, to innovate, to feel, to live in this experience. So how do we hold the void? You just have to cultivate that inner knowing so much so that it overrides the fear of the conditioned mind, that it overrides the doubt so that you can remove the wobble so that you could stay in that stability so you don't have to go through all the unnecessary lessons and unnecessary fallout. So I'm going to share a couple of stories with you about holding the void because I'm a line 3 in human design, so I share my gift through my stories. I go through them, transmute them, and then share them so that you don't have to. So the first time I decided that I desired to do this Wellness and Metaphysical Expo here in Hawaii, I knew it in every single cell of my being. I had dreamt about doing an expo for years, but before that I have only ever done small events, like maybe 80 to 100 people. I've never done anything on the scale of the Wellness and Metaphysical Expo. But I just knew it. So I called the venue, the perfect venue, and I called them and they said, okay, we'll get you dates possibly for October. But this was in May that I started calling. And they said, call me back next week and we'll see what we can do. So I called back next week. And they said, call me back next week, call me back next week. I did this the whole summer. I called every single week. I held the void because I kept tuning in and my soul just kept saying, yes, this is your next step of evolution. So just go all in no matter what. It's not what it looks like. It may get to be easy or I may need to work for it. Either way, I'm all in because I know the vision that I desire to bring into this reality. So I just kept doing that. And then August, September come around and I find out that I can't get the dates for October, but they said, hey, you might have dates for December. I said, December, Christmas, peak season, it's already September. How am I going to promote that? But I was like, you know what? It's either December or it's not happening this year. So I went all in because my soul is resilient. And I said, let's do this. And they said, okay, call back next week. So I called back and I kept calling back and calling back. Finally, like about a month and a half to 2 months before the expo, we finally got the dates and we could pull the trigger and say, let's do this. We're going to make it happen. or we could give up. And I just knew that we weren't going to give up. I knew that this had to happen. Not had to happen, but I desired it with every cell of my being. So we went all in. It turned out to be the most amazing expo. We had over 900 people come. Everybody loved it. And it lit my soul on fire for the impact that I was able to bring to the community. And that's just one of millions of examples of holding the void, of that knowing being so much stronger than what it looks like. Because the old me would have said, oh, I'm not getting the dates. That must mean that this isn't meant to be. That maybe I'm meant to not do this. Maybe it's too big for me. And then I would have just given up. But I knew that I was here to do this. So I didn't care what it looked like. And every single week I called him like, hey, it's me again. You know, the old me would be like, oh no, I don't want to offend anybody. But the new me knew what I was born to bring into this world for the community. So that knowing is what we get to cultivate to bring our visions into reality. And then there's the story that I told you about the masterclass in last week's episode. If you haven't heard that episode, make sure to go back and listen to that episode, because holding the void is what allows the magic and the miracles and the exponential wealth to drop into your life, because it's like you own your power. You own that this is for you. Nothing is going to stop you. And so these obstacles may come up, and if you don't give up and you just keep going and going and going, it's going to drop in. You don't know when it's going to drop in. We can't control when it's going to drop in. It's going to drop in divine timing. We have no idea why things happen. We have no idea that maybe this person knocked us so that we wouldn't take a step in the street a second earlier and get hit by a bus. You know, like, we can't control the divine timing of everything. So we just get to surrender into it. We get to know that we were born for this. We get to know that we're bringing this vision into reality. We do not have to control the timeline. We get to just keep going and holding the void and tweaking and pivoting and harvesting the learnings until it's ready to drop in, until we become the person that we needed to become in order for it to drop in for us. So our goals and our desires are not just about us, you know, getting to that point. It's about all the things along the way of who we're becoming and who we get to be in order to become the person that reaches that goal, and not just reaches that goal, gets to hold that goal. And you know, the void can be for so many different things. There was another thing where my son likes jets, and there was this experience that we were able to go and he could get up close with the jets. But the line was hours long, and my husband and my father were like, oh no, you're never going to make it in time. It's going to close before you can reach there, because they've been in line for 3 hours already and there's only 2 hours left before it closes. And I'm like, no, I got this. I asked my soul, and my soul's like, you're going to get on. Don't worry about it. You don't have to figure out how. You don't have to reason. You don't have to plan. You just have to trust, like, is this in alignment or not? And it was in alignment for me to wait. I had waited for a couple hours already, and it didn't matter because I was just listening to some webinars that I was catching up on, and I had a portable chair and I had an umbrella, so I just held the void and I did what my soul called me to do. And as I was getting closer to the time, my conditioned mind is like, oh, but there's only this many minutes, 30 minutes left, and you're still this. And I'm like, no, conditioned mind, thank you. I got this. Worst case scenario, I wait in line this whole time and he doesn't get on. Is that going to kill me? Is that life-threatening? My conditioned mind told me it was, but I was like, no, that's ridiculous. Put that down. Worst case scenario, I look stupid. I don't care about looking stupid because I'm here. I'm all in to live the life of my dreams, to live magic and miracles. So it doesn't matter. I get to hold the void, and if it works this time, awesome. And if it doesn't, I'm still all in for the next time. So I just held the void, and all of a sudden, and we were getting closer and closer, and then I noticed that they closed the line down behind us, but from here behind us forward, they were going to let us stay for however long it took for us to be able to go and see the jets. So my son got to go and see the jets. That was 5 hours in line, but it wasn't a waste because I used it to practice. I used it to practice holding the void. I used it to catch up on webinars that I was running behind on. I used it to know that this is the desire that I want for my son. Like, he loves these jets. I want to be able to bring it into this world for him. It's a Saturday. I let, my family go home and play. And I told them to come, I'll call you when I get closer to the front, so that they still got to enjoy themselves. And it's what I desired to do, because I just wanted to see the look on my son's face when he was up close and personal with the jets. And so it happens, right? We get to do it for anything. When we realize it's not us doing it, we don't have to figure it out. We don't have to play chess in our head anymore. We don't have to reason. We don't have to do all these things. We just get to see, is this in alignment? Does our soul desire it? Is it coming? And if it is, go all in. Follow the breadcrumbs, and then get out of the way and not have to figure out how it's going to work out. It just gets to drop in magically out of the blue. So the fractals coming up for you that are going to help you to clear the blocks. Like I said, I truly believe that we are all born an energetic match for our goals and desires and our visions. It's just the limiting beliefs, the fears, the worries, the doubts, all the stuff that's in between that's getting in the way, that we just need to shatter so that it can drop in the way that it was meant to drop in. So the fractals that are coming up, those blocks that are in the way that we're going to shatter today, the first one is fear. So one of my gene keys is to help transcend the fear, to realize that the fear is an illusion of the conditioned mind. Our soul is infinite power, infinite wisdom, infinite potentiality, infinite magic. It doesn't fear. For us, it knows what it came here to experience. It's the conditioned mind where all the fears come up. So let's remove the fears and transcend them. Transcend them with your courage, transcend them with your knowing, transcend them with your passions, transcend them with every single time that you were resilient and you got through something that you never thought you were going to get through, and that you were the master alchemist and transmuted into something better than you could have ever imagined. When you can do that, you can let your mind, your conditioned mind, know that you're safe and secure, and that the fear is just an illusion, because no matter what, I'm going to get to this goal. Like, that knowing is so strong that no matter what, I'm going to get to that goal, because I'm never going to stop until I do. I'm all in, whether it's easy or whether I get to transmute it, but either way, I'm all in. Then you can relax and release those fears, because there's no fear. Because sometimes there's fear because of a timeline, or like I said, if I wasn't going to be able to get on, then I waited in line all that time for nothing. But it wasn't for nothing, because I played with it, I practiced it, I experienced it, and I knew that I was going to be able then to apply that to my business as well. Because if I can hold the void for this and I have an opportunity to practice, imagine what I get to do with my business. And that's what I said about that masterclass in last week's episode, where I launched it and there was nobody showing up, but I didn't say, oh, well, this wasn't meant to be. I pivoted every single day. I did a new post. I did a new live. I was like, maybe they need to read the words. Maybe they need to see a video. Maybe I need to change the text. And I played with it and played with it and played with it until it felt so aligned in my soul the day before. And I didn't have to figure out where they were going to come from. I just trusted somehow, like I knew something was going to happen and a magic and miracles were going to drop in, and then it did, right? I truly believe if you can do that, not only are you going to enjoy the process so much faster, but because there's no wobble, you will get there faster. Not because you need to get there faster, but because you don't have to go through the unnecessary learnings. So we're going to remove some of that fear to set you free, to live your most aligned, authentic truth. You're knowing your wisdom from your soul, knowing what you were born to bring into this life, into this experience. Then you got the fractal to keep you centered, to bring your energy from everywhere that it's going, from all these, scenarios that your mind is playing. Well, if this happens, and this happens, and then this reasoning and this, and you're pleading your case back and forth in your head. Stop. Just stop. Remember, that's the conditioned mind. That's not you. Your soul is infinite. See the infinite power, that infinite white light, that power coming from your soul, and realize this tiny little speck of all of the conditioned mind going all these stories, because that conditioned mind is just this version of you right now in this life. And it may seem like a long time because you may have lived a long life, but in the grand scheme of life, with dinosaurs and the ice age and everything that's coming, this is such a short, tiny speck. And so it's such a tiny little speck that's sitting on top of the infinite light from our soul. So we can just be like, okay, not mine. I got this. I got this. I got it a million times in the past. I got it now. Normally, I used to call in my dreams and be like, oh, what would I like to manifest now? What dreams do I want to feel in my body that are coming? But now the knowing is so strong. I just actually am like, okay, soul, show me what's coming. Give me some inspiration to help me to take the leaps that I get to take in order to reach this place. Like I mentioned before, like getting out of bed to go to the gym at 5 in the morning. I love to sleep. I love to snooze. But now in the morning, if I don't want to get up, I'm like, okay, show me a vision. Show me something that's going to inspire me. And then I'll tune into the vision, feel it in my body, and boom, I'm out of bed and there I go. And it's the best feeling ever. It's not force. It's not exhaustion. I'm so motivated. Like my body is buzzing to do these things. My body is buzzing to bring my truth to the world. So what these fractals are going to help you to do the same thing. Then you have devastation. So removing any past devastation, fear of future devastation, and any devastation that's happening right now that's limiting you, or any expectations of it happening in the past. Tuning into the inner power of your soul. The inner power of your soul is infinite. There's been things in your life that you probably didn't think you would ever get through before it happened. And then once you got through it, you realized you were able to get through it. And not just that, you were able to get through it and realize you were so much stronger than you know. When you can tune into that power and not the fear of the conditioned mind, you're going to be able to override anything. So the fear of that devastation is holding you back from taking these leaps. But if you know that the only part of you that's going to care about the failure or the judgments or all of those things is your ego and your conditioned mind, and realize you're not your ego and your conditioned mind, you're your soul. So your soul can handle it. It might hurt, but you can process it, you can shift it, you can transmute it, because you're the master alchemist and you're going to turn it into your superpower. So these fractals are going to help you to do that, to help you also to remove the expectations which create limitations, which create the opposite result. Because when we have expectations of things, we're already putting our projections onto it. Not only are we putting our projections onto it, limiting it, we're also creating all these emotions of, oh no, I hope it works out, or what if this doesn't work out, and all that anxiety and stuff that's unnecessary, that causes the wobble. So now just tune into your knowing. Let your knowing override everything, and then just discover. Then just open your email box to discover who dropped in today. You know, just to go out through your day and discover what's going to unfold today. What are the new magic and miracles that are going to drop into my life because I'm being who I'm being, and I'm taking these leaps, and I'm bringing my magic and my truth to the world, and I'm living my most aligned, authentic life, and I'm magnetizing my energy, opening up synchronicity. So let's discover what next. Then you have comforting your inner child, helping you to heal old wounds, helping to heal yourself with unconditional love, and bringing the playfulness back into life. So not taking your goals and your visions and your desires so seriously. Like I said, when I was waiting in line for my son to see the Jets, I just played with it. I was like, okay, let's play. So anything that happens, whether it's my business, the Jets, you know, the master classes, anything that comes up in life, any triggers or any bad news or anything, I'm like, okay, let's play. This is here for something, and let's play. I know I'm going to be able to find the creative solutions and transmute it, because that's just what I do. So let's play. When you can find that playfulness in it and then play. So I love just, you know, like yesterday I picked my son up from school, and I always keep our beach stuff in the back of the car, and I'm like, oh, you know what? Why don't we just go to the beach? So we hopped down to the beach and we had the time of our lives, and we just played. Like, how do we get to be spontaneous and not have to have everything be the routine of the same thing over and over and over again? How do we get to make life magical and have fun with it? Then you have removing any resentment. So a lot of times when there's resentment, it's because we did something that's out of alignment, or we're doing something because we feel obligated, or we think somebody has control over us when we don't. It is our life. We don't need anybody, but we get to be with them. We get to desire to have them in our life, but we don't need them. We don't need anyone or anything. It is our power that we bring into this world, and then we discover our energetic matches into this world. So when you can realize that you're doing this for you, for us, and the entire world, and you're making choices out of that alignment. And so if you have to say no to something, you get to say no because you know it's good for you and the greater good. So then you get to say no versus doing it even if you don't want to, and then it turning into resentment, or resentment because this person has it, because they're living their truth, because they chose to make these decisions. So the only difference is we get to choose too. Everybody has a choice. So just removing the toxicity from the relationships, removing the control, the power struggles, just healing it all with unconditional love, recognizing that all our souls are same power but different, and we're just on different parts of our journey and different chapters. And there's nothing wrong with any of us. We're not broken. We don't need to be fixed. We're just here to experience. We're here to play. We're here to evolve. We're here to grow. We're here to feel. We're here to love. We're here to make a difference in this world. So just get into the energy of that and have fun with playing with the void. Don't give up before the finish line or even after the finish line. You think the finish line is here, but so much more can still drop in after that. Like, let's not put these timelines and these meanings on everything. If you're doing it for the results, you're always going to feel lack. You're always going to feel judged and not good enough and all of this. But if you're doing it for the impact that you desire to make on the world, the vision that you're bringing into the world, it's so much bigger than the timeline. It's so much bigger than the fears, the worries, the doubts, what you're going to look like, people's opinions, the failures, all of that, because that vision is so much bigger. You tap into the bigger picture of what you were born to bring into this world, and you become unstoppable. So everybody take a deep breath. So have fun with that. And if you know anybody that would benefit from this, please share it with them so that we could ripple out into the world together. If you'd love to dive deeper, I have multiple programs from different levels, from group masterminds to group coaching, masterminds, one-on-one mentoring. I also do a free mastermind almost every single month for people that are new to my world who'd love to discover what it feels like to create breakthroughs and co-create shifts together. So if you'd like to join the waitlist, just DM me and I'll add you to the wait list. But have fun, play, claim that your life is magic, miracles, and exponential wealth. Know that in any moment, magic and miracles can drop in as long as you just keep going and you hold the void and you hold the void and you hold the void, because you're not doing it for the results, you're doing it for the impact that you're making on this world. So have an incredible day.